So today we are gonna do the first experiment, that is implementing a basic switch network. That is here. It is basically a simple network with two switches, and each switch having its own host PC. And end goal is to establish communication between these PCs and also to access the switches from the PC using a telnet service. So to do this, we have to implement the following configuration in the switch. So this is, I have already configured the switch once, so I'm just gonna go through the configurations. So firstly, we enter the privilege mode using the enable, and then we enter the super privileged mode using the conf t or configure t, this configure terminal. The next we do is host name switch left, that is we name the switch left, and the switch left comes right here. We enable secret Cisco. Now enabling secret Cisco is giving the password. Basically it is basically giving a password to this switch, basically in text format. Next, the command is line console 0. So what line console 0 literally means is we are going inside the physical console that the switch is connected to. So basically we are configuring the physical portion of the switch, that is the port where packets arrive and packets go. Okay, so line console 0, the password is Cisco, basic login, and we exit this. Next we move on to line VTY04. Now what is VTY? VTY is an abbreviation for, not an abbreviation but an acronym for virtual teletype. Now what virtual teletypes gives us is how many number of PCs can be given the telnet access at once. So this 0 to 4 signifies 5 hosts at one can telnet access the switch. So for this we have to set up a login and a password. So here we have login local, then transport input telnet. There can be only one thing at a time, so here we are using transport input telnet. Otherwise people also use transport input SSH, which is another secure shell technique to transfer packets and gain remote access. So here we set the username to Shubham, that is my name, and password Cisco for simplicity. Now the next we do is service password encryption, that is as earlier the password was in simple text format, enable secret Cisco. The Cisco is in basic text format. Now we enable secret password encryption, that is the password is now even more protected by encryption, and then we exit this. Now the switch left is configured. Now we have to configure the interface. This interface is the fast and the Ethernet interfaces basically. So here you all can see the fast Ethernet interfaces. As I have already set up, they are up and running. So this is how I set it up. So we go into the config T, that is the privileged mode, and then we interface fast Ethernet 0/1, that is you interface the first fast Ethernet port. The speed is set to 100, that is we limit the speed to 100. Now we interface VLAN 1 there. So VLAN 1 is a management VLAN, that is very basic, and VLAN is basically setting up a network of hosts, but for us the network is a single PC. So we give the IP address to the VLAN basically. So the IP address to the VLAN is 10.1.1.10, that is basically the address of the switch, and the default mask here is 255.255.255.0. No shut keeps this VLAN active, and no shutdown prevents it from shutting down abnormally. Next, this is the VLAN setup. Now VLAN is up, and then next we set up the default gateway. Now what is default gateway? Default gateway is a setup which is used to forward packets that are unidentified, or other packets that cannot be processed by the switch. So the switch then forwards it to the default gateway. So the default gateway here we have set is 10.1.1.1, and that ends the switch configuration. So this was done for the switch left, and similarly for the switch right we have done some similar kind of configuration. Here you can see is yeah, the similar telnet configuration and stuff. Now coming to the hosts, PCs. Now for the PCs, first what we have to do is go into config, settings, global settings, and as we have specified default gateway for the switches to be 10.1.1.1, here we specify the same gateway. Go to the fast Ethernet port. Let's just assume that this PC has an IP address of 10.1.1.5 with a default mask with a subnet mask of 255.0.0.0. Similarly for this PC, the IP, the same gateway firstly, and then the IP is 10.1.1.6. So this completes our configuration. Now it's time to test. So we go to the PC desktop, command prompt, and basically I have already done it once, but let's ping it again. Ping 10.1.1, type 10.1.1.6, and we should get a, also I am basically, so here exit, yeah, so here we can ping 10.1.1.6 and we get replies. So basically this shows that the connection from PC1 to PC2 is successful, very much successful, and now to test the telnet operations. So the address that we have given to this, the switch right, is 10.1.1.20. Here you can see that very clearly, 10.1.1.20 at the bottom, the last VLAN one. So what we do is we go to the PC, we come here and we type telnet 10.1.1.20, and here you can see the password that we have, username and password that we have to input, Shubham Cisco, and we are into the switch right. So that is what we had to do for the experiment number 1. Thank you so much.